Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live session. I'm Tammy Amadi, and I'm so thrilled to have you here with us. Today's topic is something that I'm incredibly passionate about, going beyond the traditional 9 to 5 and elevating your life with an online business. We have some amazing guests today joining us who have done this and are here to share their experiences and insights. I'm not alone today. I have in this conversation my lovely host, co-host Nancy, and we are going to continue asking our guests questions about how their journey has been so far. So I ask Nancy to go ahead and introduce herself, please.
Awesome. Thanks, Demi. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. We've got people from Canada and USA today. I'm Nancy. I live in Sydney, Australia. I'm originally Persian, but calling a beautiful land home last 25 years. My background is in education, early childhood education, and I've been area manager last 15, 16, 17, I think 18 years, but been doing this online business last year and a half. I'm just loving it. I'm using my spare time because my kids are older. I got 3 kids. 23, 21, and 19. So they're independent. They do their own things, although they're living with us. But I got my own time. That's why I thought I'm going to use those times to create extra income and to be able to actually travel more and pay the mortgage. So everything's expensive. So we all need that extra bits. But joining this business, as you guys know, we gain more than financial freedom. It's just finding people, knowing people, and finding friends all around the world and positive-minded people meeting, and that's amazing part of it. And tonight we're here with Keith and Bijal. Just kind of, Keith, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. So thank you, Nancy and Tammy, for having me on here today. So, my name is Keith Halwa, and I live in Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. I worked in the oil and gas industry for most of my adult life, and I worked overseas. I worked out of Canada for most of that time, and I have a wife and 2 sons. I married a Cuban lady while I was working there, and I have 3 dogs that we actually brought from Cuba to Canada with us as well. So I've got my small little family, and on top of that, my oldest son's girlfriend, she came from Cuba and is now living with us as well. So we've got our small family here, and we're starting out here and just getting this online business underway. That's it. That's what I'm at. Just my small little story.
Awesome. Thank you, Keith. Bijal, please go ahead and introduce
Hi,
yourself.
thank you, Nancy and Tammy, for having me here. I'm Bijal. I'm born and raised in India, but I'm living in US for past 25 years. I am a finance manager. I live here with my husband and 2 boys, and I have started this side hustle, just about 6 months ago. So I'm a newbie here, and I wanted to spend more time with my kids. Be there for my kids, and that's why I started something, to have my own freedom. And so far I'm loving the space. I have met amazing, people on this platform. I've connected with them, and the wealth of knowledge is it's unlimited that you get on this space, and I'm glad that I started this, and I'm looking forward to writing this journey.
Awesome. Thank you
Beautiful.
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very much. And I am a hairstylist as well. I forgot to introduce myself in the beginning. I have been living in Maryland, United States for the last 24 years with my husband and my 2 children, and have been running my hair salon for the last few years. And about a year and a half ago, I joined this business, and the reason I joined this business was my health. During the COVID, I was diagnosed with some kind of health problem, and I needed to reduce hours behind the chair. So I was looking to find a job to do online so I don't have to spend so much time physically in the salon. Fortunately, I came across this opportunity and I started this online journey a year ago. And here I am, and I'm very, very glad to be here. So I would like to ask you guys, what was your why to join this business? Keith, can you please tell us a little bit more about why you joined this business?
Well, I joined this business and it's a bit of a convoluted story. So I was, as I mentioned earlier, I was living and working in Cuba at the time, and I knew that we had to leave Cuba in order for my sons to have a better opportunity to come to Canada. So that's why we moved to Canada. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do when I left Cuba. I didn't think that I wanted to continue to work in the oil and gas industry, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. With that being said, I know a couple personally that were in the business but at that time I didn't know what they were actually doing. I was watching them on social media, and I noticed that their posting and what they were doing was different. So when I came to Canada for some days off back then, I actually contacted them and had a conversation with them, and I don't remember what they exactly told me, but whatever they said stuck with me. And when I went back to Cuba for work, I continued to think about whatever it was that they said. And I actually called them from Cuba again back in Canada here, and we had another conversation. And then I think that what they did was they directed me to one of these webinars, and I watched it and I was intrigued. And that's when I liked what I saw, and I talked to them again, and I bought into it because I saw an opportunity that is available and that you can do from anywhere that's got an internet connection. So I bought in, and I couldn't continue working on the business in Cuba. So I continued to work for the oil and gas company, and I did up until last year when I lost my job with them. And so again, I wasn't really quite sure even last year that I was going to do this. What I did know is that I'm not in a position to walk away from working entirely. I don't have enough money to retire. I've got two sons that are in school. They're both of them are, one's in college, the other one's in high school, and they need to continue on with their jobs. And like I mentioned, I've got a daughter-in-law that's living with us here as well. And I'm financially supporting all of them to some extent. I'm helping everybody out do what they need to do. So I need to continue to have an income to be able to help support everybody here. So why I'm doing this? Well, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this so that I can help them get their lives started and hopefully get them on their merry little way so I can continue on with my life, traveling or whatever I want to do. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to do something. Yeah, so that's my why, Tammy.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for your sharing your information. How about you, Bija?
So I had been looking for something to do on the side for a while. I wanted to, do something of my own on the side, also, support the family as well, and I, came across this on, Facebook, one of the ads, and I looked into it. I kept sawing it over a few days, and I'm like, I'm not sure what this is. Sounds very interesting. So I reached out to the mentor my mentor, to find out more information about this. Um, and she forwarded the 90 minutes webinar. I watched the webinar. I didn't watch everything in one day. I kind of watched it in parts. And I was amazed with all walks of people on there. I liked what I saw, and I was curious to know more. So I reached out again, to see how I would get more information to learn more about this business. And that's when I joined in, and I liked it. And so far I'm loving it, and enjoying it. But yeah, that's how I joined.
That's great. Can I ask a question from Keith? Because I know people ask me when some guys come and ask, he says, where are the men in your business? And then sometimes when they come on, it says, there they are. We boomers are chat too
They're
much
shy.
everywhere. But there are guys there. There are guys there. Let's talk about I think Keith is doing now this business as a full time, which is amazing to hear. So that means this business that's got this online business got that much potential that you could replace your offline job, whatever you do daily job, and then I think your job, especially Keith, was in oil and gas industry. That's a great position. Anyone would love to have it kind of. So now you're doing this business. How could this business change your life around? Changing that, in fact, your life around?
Well, for me, how it's changing my life right now is just this. You're over in Australia and it's evening time and it's 5 o'clock or so in Canada where I'm at, and I'm able to get up and I work from home. And I've always been very independent. I've always enjoyed working by myself. So that's one of the things that I love about this. You're an independent business owner. Not that you don't have interaction with other people, you do, but for the probably 90% of the time, you're basically working by yourself. And then, that's the work aspect of it. The other aspect of it, and I think we talked a little bit about this before we came on, is the learning part of all of this. So I come from the oil and gas industry, and I knew absolutely nothing about the online space and what it offers, and actually how powerful that it is as a tool if you understand and you learn how to use it properly. So all the learning and the training that goes on with this. So within this business, they have very comprehensive training, and it gets you up and started. And it did for me. I got my business up and running from their training. But besides that, I've taken, or I'm currently in an additional course that I'm taking here, which has everything to do with what we're doing, and it's taking it even a step further. And a lot of the stuff that they're teaching me, I will probably never use. So it's literally learning how to set up websites, and they're talking about how the internet, Google specifically, crawls your websites and pulls the information from it and ranks your website within the online space. And so it's really intensive. So the learning that I'm getting from all of this, again, I come from an oil and gas industry. I'm used to oil rigs and being out wherever and working really long hours and doing that type of manual job. Where this is just a totally 180 different point of view on working. And I'll tell you what, it's taken me a little bit to get used to this, because again, I don't come from this world. I don't understand it. I never really understood what the social media world, all I ever did on social media was I had a Facebook account. I never posted anything. I would go on there and I would look to see what my friends and family were doing back home here in Canada while I was out working. I would look at their pictures and read their stories. That's all I ever did with it. So the learning part of it is unbelievable. And as everybody knows, once you learn something, you have it. Nobody can take that away from you, and you can utilize it, whether you're within this business, and maybe you can use that in another business after this or alongside this or something like that, right? So for me, the learning is great. And then the relationships of all the different people, we've all talked about it. I think that there's so many great, and I know it sounds kind of maybe redundant to us, but there's a lot of very wonderful people within this business. I've met so many great people that are willing to spend some time. If you ask the right questions, people are more than willing to help you answer your question and get you pointed in the right direction. So the people are great. Yeah, a lot of people are great here.
That's so right. It's like when I enter, especially into this business, I think we all agree on that one. you find that was thing like attract like, you find lots of positive minded people, and this is you couldn't believe it. There were kind of this kind of people are in the world like this, like not just in your local area, all around the world you can find those people. That's which is kind of, I think, one of the benefits of joining this business online. Although it's your business and it's your own, but you're not on your own, if that makes sense. You got a big, massive
Yes.
community supporting you. Awesome. Bijal, would you like to talk about what benefits you found in this business that works for you and you really like it?
So one of the things I have learned, I had been on social media, just like what Keith said, scrolling Facebook, scrolling Instagram, looking at, influencers page, posting and liking, and but I had never used it, to make reels or videos or, do any of this. But one thing, I have learned in this, there's so many tools here that shows you how to do your business. For example, Canva. I had not heard about Canva. I don't know what it is, and then, coming into this, it's amazing how you can use something and post and, create your own. So I feel like I have grown professionally. I've learned so much, and there's so much to learn in this space. And also the people that I've met, not one person has said, this is not, everybody I've talked to, everybody I've met, whether it's online, offline, they all have loved this business. They all love it. And they're great people who are, we're helping each other, we're building the community. And, we have grown from, 200. So we keep growing. We're not decreasing. We're growing. So for me personally, I have learned a lot. I have come out of my shell.
Yeah.
I am doing lives, I'm doing videos, I'm doing reels. So yeah, I have grown professionally.
Awesome. Thank you. Either one of you, can you tell us a little bit like tips for people who are struggling with their everyday job, or their mom, they are struggling with their everyday doing and working and taking care of their children and like doing life together. Do you have any tips for people who are struggling and they're looking to find something, as you mentioned, a side hustle or something to do on the side? Can you explain that to our people?
Sure. Do you want to go?
You go ahead, Bijal, if you want. I can answer if you don't.
This is, especially for the moms out there, I mean, you think about it, the daycare is so expensive these days. I remember when I sent my kids, it was half of the price that it is now. So, if you are working, you're 9 to 5 or any of the jobs, whatever you're working, you're paying into your daycare. It's not, you're not coming, you may be saving a little bit. I think if you're thinking about starting something online, you have doubts about what it is, I would say, visit, reach out to one, watch the webinar, look into it, and there are different strategies that you can come in on this business. It's not like you have to come in at this, certain a fixed strategy. There's different strategies that you can come into. It's a great opportunity, to come in, start something your own. This can eventually, you could start part-time, eventually you can be into full-time, you can start full-time, whatever works for you. And you can work any hours in a day from anywhere. You don't have to be at home. You could take this with you anywhere. And this is it's great. Yeah, you could take it anywhere. But if you're still thinking about it, I would say take that step and take that risk and join in.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you. How about you? Do you have anything, Keith, to add?
I can say something about that, but Bijal's perspective is a lot different than my perspective. Mainly because my kids were toddlers in Cuba and not in Canada, and their my wife stayed at home. She didn't need to work, so I was the main source of income. So the only thing that I can say is within this business community, there are a pile of mothers, stay-at-home mothers that look after their kids, and specifically, there's one group of sisters that live in the city that I live in, and they're just killing it in this business. They are doing so awesome within it. I don't know if any of you have heard of them. They're called Betty and Smash, and they're just doing phenomenal. They're doing very well. Yeah, so you've heard of them. So
Yeah.
so they've got a name within our business community. They're doing phenomenal, and they're stay-at-home moms are looking after their kids. I don't well, maybe I shouldn't say that they're stay-at-home moms. I don't know that for a fact, but they've got kids and they're managing to work. And if they've got a job, I got to really commend them, because if they have a job, they're looking after their kids and they're doing this. Wow, that's a lot. So, but they're doing very well at this business. So just by looking at them, it's a very doable business for somebody that has children. And if you're staying at home, if your baby's sleeping and you got a little bit of time, or your kids are out playing and you got a little bit of time, you can do something. And you don't have to be, the great part about this is you don't have to spend every minute of every day doing this. You can do it when you've got the time to do it. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I think we've been on 21 minutes. That was great having both of you, Keith and Bijal, over here. Maybe you want to do the call to action, Tammy, and we close tonight's live?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Yes. So if anybody is interested to know what it is and what is in the online world, online space, you can join our program by sending us your name and email. That's the first part that you will receive a complimentary webinar. It's a 90-minute webinar that there is no cost, no charge. You can watch that 90 minutes webinar at the comfort of your time and decide that what this business is and what we are talking about. In that 90 minutes, there are people like us who have been doing this business for a while or just started their business. They have different people in that webinar, so you can get to know them and realize and understand that what this business is being done. And if you are really interested to go ahead and know more about this business, you can pay the 30-day trial period, which you have 30 days to come and see exactly what this business is about, the commissions, the rates, the people, and everything from 0 to 100. You get to know all about the business by only paying $149 US. And after that, if you are willing to start your own journey, start your own online business, then you can, as Bijal mentioned, we have different packages to start, and you can start your business by doing the investment and joining this amazing online business.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Why not? The world is digital world we're living in. The faster you get in, the closer you'll be in front of the line, really. If you'd like to know more, just send us your name and email, guys. We'll be happy to help you in this journey. Thank you so much again, joining. People are still watching. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Keith.
Thank you very much.
Bijal.
Bye.
Have a great day for your start of the day. Enjoy your Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.